Hi, this is Ernie. I'm that guy who had 6,000 in his checking account to now having millions of dollars. Today, I want to talk about budgeting. I know this is not a popular topic because it's always associated with painful process, something I'm going to be miserable, something that's going to remind me of, my financial situation. But this is a crucial part. You can pretty much consider this as the stepping stone towards building wealth. So, and I'm going to give you a tool. I wish I can share the Excel spreadsheet so that you guys can copy and do the same thing, but you can pause this video so that you'll be able to learn and replicate the Excel spreadsheet that I've created when I first moved to Singapore. That was the latest one that I could find. But this will give you a good flavor of how to budget and how to run scenarios so that you can save more. And let me show you rather than keep talking about this. So believe it or not, when I first moved to Singapore, I didn't know anybody and I needed to figure out how I'm going to survive in a brand new country where I know almost nobody. And my salary back then was about $20,000. And my goal was to save $10,000. You might say, man, Ernie, what the heck? How do you save half of your money? But I had an ambitious goal and I wanted to see if this was actually feasible or not. And again, Singapore is one of the most expensive places. For me to get a one-bedroom studio or apartment, it was about $3,500. And again, this is all Singapore dollars, not US dollars. And then of course, if I get my own place, I need my internet, I need cable for TV. If I want to watch TV, I need to get a cell phone. Luckily, company paid for it, so I didn't have to worry about this. Taxi, knowing that it's about 93 degrees every single day throughout the entire year. I don't want to show up in a jacket and a suit at a client site, so I need to spend about $1,000 in taxi. MRT is a subway or public transportation. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, entertainment, when I hang out with friends or entertaining my clients, some I could expense, but I need to build that relationship since I didn't know anyone again. I budgeted that. Cleaning for the condo, dry cleaning for my shirts and pants. I mean, it's so sweaty. You have to dry clean. Groceries on top of all these for snacks and water and so forth. And it's a brand new country. So I wanted to carve out about $1,500 so that I can travel every other month to all these gorgeous places and clothes and other shopping. And then I realized, oh man, I won't be able to save $10,000 every month because after deducting that $10,000, I'm gonna have minus $1,036. So I spoke to somebody in the office and they said, "Oh, a lot of people when they first come to Singapore, some people choose to get a roommate because it's so expensive." So I decided to look for a roommate option. Roommate option, depending on how luxuriously you want to live, it could lower to 600, maybe even to 800 or 1,000. Internet, I only pay a third. Cable, a third. Cell phone, exactly the same. Taxi, the same. MRT, the same. Breakfast, the same. But I realized just by not paying that rent and having a roommate, and of course the cleaning fee of the house goes from 120 to 40. Now I'm saving additional $2,000, which go towards the rainy day fund. And believe it or not, when I did this, when I decide to go with a second option or consider a second option, people make fun of me. They said, "Oh, come on, you're like in your 30s. How could you get a roommate? You should get your own place. Oh, you're an expat. You should." People used to say, "You're crazy about money." But I think that's sometimes what it takes for you to be crazy about money so you can save as much as I can. And in this particular case, if I choose the roommate option, I'll be able to save about $1,200 a month. That's going to be equivalent to $144,000 a month. Sorry, a year, $144,000 a year. And then after speaking to another person, they said, rather than you getting a roommate, get a roommate in the beginning, but you should try to go for a overseas project where I could just live at a hotel and they give you per diem. Per diem is like a living expense on top of paying for the hotel and other things because you're there. And if you like crappier the country, you get more per diem. Dangerous the country, you get more per diem. And if I were to do that, I'm like, oh, if I were to do that, do I even need to get my own place? And I realize I don't. So I decided to run a scenario based on this. And when I did that, there's per diem, $3,000, no rent, no internet, no cable. Cell phone bill in some of these countries are so cheap. Taxi goes from 1,000 to 200. And in some of these projects, we had a driver and a car. So taxi, I didn't even spend, ended up spending $200 a month. MRT, the subway, public transportation, almost non-existent. Breakfast covered at the hotel lounge. Lunch, incredibly cheap in some of these developing countries. Dinner, covered at the hotel lounge. Unlike hotels here, they actually have proper food in Asia. Entertainment, I still kept it so that I'll be able to build, a network of people. Cleaning, of course, hotel, so it's free. You still have to tip them from time to time. Dry cleaning, we included in our project that 3 pieces of clothes will be taken care of by the hotel. So dry cleaner went down. Groceries went down, obviously, because water and everything is available. Travel, I still had it. And shopping clothes, I still had it, kept it. And if I were to do that, I realized I can save almost additional $6,000 a month on top of $10,000 that I'm trying to save. And that's what I ended up doing. I got there first couple months, got a roommate, and then I got an overseas project. So I lived at Marriott, JW Marriott, AKA my second home, for 2.5 years. And during this time, I saved $160,000 every year. And that's how it helped me even save more and invest more and increase my portfolio to a greater amount. And if you look at this particular thing, I started thinking to myself, okay, I could have internet, but not cable, so that I can save $65. Or at my office, they used to give peanut butter, right? That's how peanut butter is pronounced in Singapore. They give you peanut butter toast every morning, as long as you show up before 8 o'clock. But me not being a morning person, I used to show up by, 8:45. So I decided to get up early, avoid more human traffic so that I'll be able to go eat breakfast for free. Like early part of my time at Singapore. Again, why am I showing you this? I'm showing you this because I want you to budget so that you know where you can cut expenses. And this is the one that's going to help you find money. And some people are saying, oh, I wish I only have $6,000. If you go through this exercise, and this book teaches you exactly how to do this. If you go through this exercise, you will immediately find a couple $100 or tens of dollars or sometimes thousands of dollars in money that you never knew that you'll be able to save. And also with the mindset of being thrifty. Like, I wish I could record it, but I made lunch at home and I realized, my wife and I, we tear our napkin into half so that she and I could share one napkin. I know this sounds ridiculous, right? But that's the mindset we have. We're like, then rather than buying a whole pack of napkin, we only have to buy a whole pack of napkin every 2 times. So that's the ultimately the mindset you need to have and the budgeting process you need to have, especially if you are married or if you're living with somebody. This will provide clarity and transparency in terms of where the money is going, how the money is spent, so that you can find $10, $20, $150 here and there so that you can start building capital. And then once you start building capital for a little bit of time, then you can do what I do and start saving or start generating weekly income selling options. Check out this book. This is going to be a life changer. This is one of the Wall Street's bestseller. And start budgeting by yourself or with friends or with your partner. Hopefully this was useful. Please don't forget to like, repost, and follow. And if you have any specific questions, send me messages or comment.